Have you ever found yourself asking, how did I get here? Or maybe you've been driving somewhere, arrive safely, right? And realize, I don't remember one single turn I made or one light that I stopped at. How did I even get here? You don't remember the journey. You just arrived. I think that's how many of us move through difficult seasons of our lives. We get up, go to work, pay bills, handle responsibilities, carry burdens, and before we know it, we're surviving instead of living. Because life happened, and when life happens, the real question becomes, now what? Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Priceless Opinion. I'm Janet, and this is a space where thoughtful perspectives on life come together through storytelling, fragrance, and lived experiences. Today's fragrance is Mind Games Check Please. And honestly, I couldn't think of a better fragrance for today's conversation, but we'll circle back to that one in a few. Life happens to everyone. Nobody is keeping score. I remember me and my sister, one year, we were trying to one up each other on the trauma that we went through. We were having a conversation and it was, well, I went through this, but did you go through this? Oh, I went through this, but did you go through this? And did you see this? And so it was kind of like we were trying to show each other that we went through trauma, but minimizing the other's trauma or negative experiences to say that you had more negative experiences. But trauma is trauma. It shouldn't be one over the other. It may be severities to it, but it still affects you in a negative way. And pain isn't a competition. And that's what I learned. Roadblocks happen to everyone. Sometimes social media makes it seem like everyone has life figured out, especially celebrities, right? But behind every successful story is a struggle. You just probably never saw it. Nobody gets through life without setbacks. Nobody. The question isn't whether life happens, because it does. The question is when it's going to happen, what you're going to do to rebound, and then what's next after that. My roadblock. When life happened to me, this particular time, because life has happened a lot, but this particular time, life happened when I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. It was 2006, and my son wasn't even a year old yet. I remember it like it happened yesterday. I kept getting dizzy, and the doctor sent me to the ENT. And while I was at the ENT, my whole left side went numb. Thought I was having a stroke, rushed me to the hospital. And the doctor comes in and says, good news. You did not have a stroke, no heart attack, but you have multiple sclerosis. Follow up with the neurologist. What is this? What does that even mean? And life came at me fast. No one could begin to tell me how it would alter my life. Even the doctors. It was more so, hey, take this medicine to slow down the progression. Don't know how this medicine is going to affect you, but still take it. Or you may feel good one day, not the next, but it is what it is. And so life definitely affected me hard. So that was my roadblock. And I was confused. I was fearful, angry, because how can I have this baby that's not even 1 year old, and you're telling me I have a disease that may debilitate me, or This is an autoimmune disease, so I don't know why or how it came. And then uncertainty, like what does it look like? And then you join these groups, and sometimes it's the worst of the worst. So then you start getting things in your head like, is this going to be my life? Oh my gosh. But looking back, I realized that through that season of being diagnosed, trying to figure life out, I wasn't really living during that season. I started just existing. And I started existing because I kind of started burying myself in things. Like I was partying a whole lot. Alcohol became a coping mechanism for me. I took myself on and off medicine. Like they don't know what it's going to do to me. So why am I on it? So it was just a whole bunch of stuff. And then I finally realized probably I was diagnosed in 2006. So probably like around 2012, it was like, okay, Jay, snap out of it. You have to figure out how you're going to progress. You cannot let this disease take over you. You have MS, but MS doesn't have you. And it's something that it just clicked one day, because I realized that I was on autopilot, kind of like driving somewhere, arriving safely, but never understanding or realizing or remembering how you made it along the way, how you got there. You don't remember the journey. And I think that's how many of us move through difficult seasons of life. We find something that we can control and we fixate on that, whether it's working a lot, going to the gym, shopping, being a couch potato, drinking, whatever is in our control is what we do. And that turns into survival mode. So you're always on guard, as if your body hasn't gotten the message that you're now safe. You are making sure you can control what happens next, not leaving anything to chance, and allowing other things to be in the back and you in the front, and you control your movements. And when I say that, I'm really, really talking about you become emotionally exhausted because you're worn out and drained to the point where you're just existing and you're not letting anyone or anything in. But what I did and had to repeat to myself is that existing is waiting for life to get better. Living is deciding to participate in that journey. And so when I said earlier that this fragrance, Check Please, was really meaningful with this, it's a fragrance that it's not about how it smells. It's the name. It's the name that reminds me to pause. Check, please. And not because you're quitting, not because you're giving up, but because you've spent enough time sitting at tables that no longer serve you. Tables of fear, tables of self-doubt, tables of regret, tables where you replay old mistakes. You question things like, why me? Why did you give me multiple sclerosis? Or why did you allow me to get into this relationship? Or why did why did I lose my job? You start asking these questions and you're sitting in the table of self-doubt and not self-awareness. And at some point you have to say, check, please. I'm ready for the next chapter. I'm ready to be done with survival mode and this autopilot. I'm done with letting roadblocks define me. Let me figure out a way around the things or to go through this roadblock. Let me get on my hands and knees and pray and understand that the journey is what I'm going through, but I have a next destination. So what is it for me? What's my next destination? Check, please. And with check, please, the bright opening in this particular fragrance of green apple has rays of joy. And I relate that to life. Creating uplifting feelings to get out of the rut. Having this particular fragrance has lasting power. And that's what we need in our life. We need to know this is a season and it's not my life. And I want it to last. I want the happiness to last. I want the joy to last. I want to know that I may have been dealt a blow, but I'm not going to stay here. I want more for my life. And so the longevity of this fragrance reminds me that confidence isn't always constant. Faith isn't always easy either, but both can stay with you longer than you realize. So life happens. Now what? We take care of ourselves, not selfishly, but purposefully. We pray, we read, we go through therapy, we take walks, journal like me, start a blog that now turns into YouTube. We enjoy fragrances. We have it uplift us and create through the fragrance what it is that we want our day to be. We spend time with family or friends, or sometimes we just sit quietly. And when we sit quietly, we're not sitting quietly to get into a rut, but we sit quietly to hear the man upstairs and hear what he's trying to teach us in that season so that we can learn from it, get through it, and be better because of it. So whatever fills your cup, whatever reminds you who you are, whatever helps you gather strength for tomorrow, you say, check, please. I'm moving out of this moment, this season. I'm getting up from this table, this rut. I'm going to gain this confidence, this self-encouragement, and determination. Before I leave you today, I want you to think about one thing, though. What is something you do just for you? Not for work, not for your children, your spouse, your parents, not for anyone else's validation or expectations, but for you. What is that one thing that you can say, check, please, and then go to? For me, I say, check, please, and I smell fragrances. I have a friend that says, check, please, I'm going on vacation. I need time alone. So what is that one thing that you can say, check, please, and then go to where you can think, you can gather your thoughts, and that you deserve the moment while you're there to say, I'm alive, I'm not surviving, I'm ready to make life happen. So, in closing, life happens. And sometimes it changes everything. I know my roadblock did, my situations have. But in every season, we still have a choice to pause, to heal, and to move forward. Because perspective changes everything. Stay priceless.